least the espresso machine you wouldn't need to add coolant every week.
That's true.
Oh yeah. Shit, we're recording. This is the Farm Hop Life podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Kaitie.
So today we're going to be talking about what are we going to do for income while we're on the road. In the last episode we talked about Airbnb or renting the house. We're still leaning towards Airbnb, and so like there's little parts of that we can like kind of capitalize on, take advantage of like the situation. So one of the things that I thought of was like, okay, people that visit here and it's part of like the Farm Hop Life like culture, I guess, could be like a local food curator. So like what if we reached out to whoever's staying here, like, hey, would you be interested in local beef, chicken, or lamb, or produce? Yeah, eggs. And so, like, hey, there's a farmer's market on Saturdays, but anything else we can have there ready for you. And so the freezer would already be stocked with steaks or whatever it is that they wanted. Or when I mentioned this to you, you had said just like general grocery shopping too, like.
So you always hear stories about people who have travel delays and planes that obviously suck, and you get to your place that you're staying at like 11 o'clock at night, and what do you do if you have kids and you have no food for breakfast in the morning? Well, if your plane gets delayed, you reach out to us. We can run and grab some staples for you, make sure that it's in the fridge and ready to go. Or you can place a pickup order at Target or Walmart or the local grocery store. We can make sure that we grab that for you, have it set up so that you don't feel like you're in such a rush the next morning. Like you can take a beat, drink your coffee, and then get out and go see stuff.
And the last thing I was thinking about for the Airbnb was a rental car. So the original plan was to like sell my truck, sell Kaitie's car, and then just get one vehicle. But with like the low monthly payment that we have on Kaitie's car that's left, I can't imagine that we wouldn't be able to make at least that much a month on like a car rental app like Turo, it's like the Airbnb of cars essentially. And so like maybe the cars like waiting for them at the airport, or if they need two cars, like that one and one from like Hertz is at the airport, or one's already here, or whatever it is. So like that was just another idea that I had. And a couple weeks ago, Kaitie had told me about an idea that she had seen other people do about making money at campsites. Do you want to explain because this is a great idea. I thought this is amazing.
So Matt sold it real well. I saw a few posts on Instagram about food trucks that are at campgrounds, like big campgrounds on Friday and Saturday nights. And people were posting about how they took their family up there. It was super convenient because you could just walk. There were some picnic tables. And immediately in my head, I thought, what do people do for coffee? Like, there's never good coffee around when you're camping.
People will slit each other's throat to get good coffee.
I ran coffee shops for 7 or 8 years, something like that. I've got experience in, like a smaller coffee shop and also a very large chain. And so, like fixing espresso machines, buying products, having a menu, like those types of things come second nature to me. Like I could open a coffee shop tomorrow. I used to travel around the country and actually do that as my job. And I thought, what if we could reach out to campgrounds and offer to be there from like 5:30 till 10:30 on Saturday and Sunday mornings. And all we would need is a refurbished espresso machine, a water hookup, and a place to set up basically like a coffee table. And, I wouldn't have some big fancy elaborate menu But if you just had the basics, I mean, you can remake pretty much any drink that's sold at any coffee shop. And we were talking about it the other night, actually. You know, like, where do you get beans? Well, ideally, if we're traveling around, I would like to source beans from local coffee shops. And then also, you know, like, to maybe kind of get a better deal on the beans themselves, we could promote that coffee shop. Like, hey, if you like our coffee, we got our beans from this place in town. Like, go check them out. And try to send more people their way and also still promote the local businesses that are around.
So that also brings up like a couple of interesting hurdles, not like impossible.
They're hurdles.
They're hurdles. Like, so if we're doing this in multiple states, would we need to have a business license in each state? Or would we just try to like fly under the radar and hope a Karen doesn't like turn us in? Or like, I mean, I'm all for that idea because, you know.
I'm not. I've seen those fines. I'm not all for that idea.
You just work with it. And then, you know, like there's like the health department, and if you're on the road, how do you store those supplies? And then, you know, you'd have to contact the campground host like ahead of time. I mean, these are all just doable, but just like things to think about. Was there anything else you wanted to expand on?
I don't think so. Okay. I
Okay.
mean, it would be, you could keep your supplies to a minimum. You could order cups, you know, for the week ahead. Make sure you don't have like cases and cases on hand. And getting syrups is not complicated nowadays. Getting chocolate is not complicated nowadays. Figuring out ice, depending on where you're at, could be a little bit complicated. Have enough ice to make ice drinks. But I mean, you know, I could run a big chain coffee shop single-handedly on a Friday morning, so I could handle a campground by myself.
Anything other than drip, people will be happy.
Yeah, we would not offer drip, but you can make that really well in your camper or in your tent. So, and if somebody doesn't know how, I will gladly teach them, because drip is super easy to do well. But yeah, I mean, I think the biggest hurdle would be getting an espresso machine that's reliable and that you know how to fix. And that you don't have problems with every other week.
Yeah.
That's not $8,000.
It's only more than your car or whatever.
It's fine. We'll sell my car to buy an espresso machine. It's perfect. Plan made.
At least the espresso machine wouldn't need you wouldn't need to add coolant every week.
That's true.
Oh yeah. Shit, we're recording. So my idea that I haven't told Kaitie about
Dun, dun, dun.
is that, so I was listening to a podcast called My First Millions, or My First Million, if anyone's interested. And they talk about the story of Conor McGregor, the UFC fighter. So apparently he doesn't actually make like that much money after paying his manager and promotions and all this stuff from the fights. But what he does is that he brands himself. So like the suits that he wears are like really nice suits for like these press conferences or whatever. And so like, oh my gosh, like Google like Conor McGregor suit, and then it turns up like that he has his own brand. So he's like branding himself. And like, oh, okay. Conor McGregor workout routine, and he's got his own workout routine that he sells. Conor McGregor pre-workout, post-workout, like supplements or whatever. He's got that too. So like he's got all these things that like surrounds his entire like brand, like people can pick up on. So like, what if we did something similar? So the chicken heart lady,
Yeah.
with the goats.
Yes.
I already briefly talked to her about this, and we ordered some samples from her. That maybe we could do like a partnership. So like, she sells really good soap and really good lotion made from goat milk from her farm.
It's the best smelling goat milk lotion that I've tried. So it's really good.
We should do a review for her.
We should.
And so what if we partnered up that maybe Farm Hop Life has like exclusive certain soaps or certain lotions or something like that. And so, we get our piece, she gets her piece, and I like at the same time also be 100% transparent of where this is coming from. So like if for whatever reason you don't like us, she doesn't miss out like on a sale because of us. Be like, you know what, you can completely bypass us and go straight to her if you'd like, but we'd appreciate it if you considered supporting us, type of thing. So like that, like just soap and lotion is just like one idea. We could do like somebody that makes tea. I like a good spicy mustard, so if someone likes spicy mustard, or even just like good ketchup that isn't filled with trash. What are some other ideas that I had? Like just regular things like people make that wouldn't mind partnering up with us. I think that would be really cool. I don't know, like a piece of software or a spreadsheet. Like, hey, this is like a calculate. I don't know. I know I'm reaching a little bit now, but like you just open up the. Shut up.
Did everybody see the gears turning? I saw the gears turning.
Like a spreadsheet. Like, what if like this is the thing I use to. Now you threw me off. You threw me off now.
No, sorry.
I'm gonna cut this out. This is what I use to plant seeds or come up with a schedule of whatever. You threw me off. You ruined my pitch. I'm mad. But you get the idea. I'm doing this too much. So that was just one thing that I thought of. And it's supporting other farms. So like kind of like rising tide lifts all boats type of thing.
So like I saw recently a lady, I really want to learn how to start doing sourdough. I feel like everybody I know has done sourdough over the pandemic, and I just never, I don't know. I felt like I didn't have time, and now I have all the time in the world. Day. That was not sourdough.
It wasn't?
No.
What's that called?
That's called soda bread.
Oh, yeah. Whatever. It's bread.
Anywho, I saw there's a person I follow on Instagram. They sell dehydrated sourdough starters, and they also sell wooden spoons for mixing your dough. And I thought, that would be kind of cool. Mm-hmm. We could have our own branded spoon.
That'd be sweet.
So...
Get like a actual brand on it.
Ooh, I didn't even think of that.
On the handle.
Very neat.
Yeah.
Look at you go.
Cookie cutters, me.
Cookie cutters.
So, a couple other quick things is, last thing. Not last thing. I take that back. I don't like Amazon affiliate links. Like us doing it, and here's why. It's completely overplayed at this point. Like, it seems like every podcast has their own Amazon affiliate link. Please use my link and support the show, blah, 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 whatever. Yep. Like, okay, so are you going to use my link? Are you going to use their link? Are you going to use this guy's link? Like, it's just whatever. I don't care. Like, it doesn't seem worth it at this point. The other thing that I noticed about other podcasts is that they will go through, like, you'll hear new ads almost all the time. So like they almost never stick with the same sponsor, like from month to month, let alone from show to show. And it's just like there's like too much turnover in sponsorship. And so like when they were talking about it in that podcast is like, okay, yeah, taking on sponsors for like another company to support your show is like a quick way to make money, but it's not like that real like brand recognition. Like instead of like building your own brand up, like you're just building up someone else's brand when you could be building up your own. And I'm noticing a couple other podcasts kind of do this, like, you know, partnering with like a coffee roaster. So like it would be like blah blah blahs. It'd be like a tool review guy or whatever. His coffee, like partnered with a coffee roaster. So like people are starting to pick up on this type of thing. I'm seeing it around, which is pretty cool. Another thing we're thinking about that I'm looking into is value for value. So like if you value what we're doing, you can like while listening to this podcast, you could stream us Satoshis or Bitcoins or whatever.
All of which I do not understand, but he does, so it's fine.
I know enough that I like it better than the money that's physically in my wallet and bank account. So, anyways, so I'm still tinkering with that a little bit. How do I get that set up and, get people to use like that other podcast player to be able to stream Satoshis while they're listening or whatever. And Kitty brought up a good idea about quick money ideas.
I brought up a concern. I don't know if it was a good idea. I brought up a concern of, like what happens if something breaks on the truck or something breaks on the RV and we need a quick $3,000 or $4,000. And yes, we have that in our savings, but we'd prefer not to just blow through our savings. Like what do we do if we need to make a quick couple grand and we're out of state, on the road, living in the RV, on somebody's farm, helping them most days of the week? What do you do?
Oh, that's me.
That's you.
So I'm pretty handy. I had like a couple jobs as a handyman and then got taken over by my own house stuff. And so I stopped doing that. But all my tools fit in a couple of cases.
But like you've got experience as
a
carpenter, a framer, you've done plumbing, you're an electrician, like the list of stuff goes on that he just either had experience doing or knows how to do.
And I can learn more, learn how to do more things. I can always just generally like haul material with the truck. I'm a really good babysitter, believe it or not.
He's like a big kid, so
that's true. That's true. When we have to go through the airport to go visit family, you know who watches the kid? Me. I do.
Do you though?
Watch is loosely defined, but entertains is where I really come in.
There you go. Entertains. Very good at the entertaining part.
Yep.
The paying attention to the food schedule and everything, I don't know.
What food schedule? What do you mean by food schedule? What does that mean?
Point in case. The other idea he had was potentially doing tutoring.
I'm not a good tutor.
I'm a pretty good tutor. It obviously depends on the subject, but I feel like I excelled in a few different things when I was in school. I was one of those people that really enjoyed going to school. I wish I wouldn't have blown the money on it nowadays, but it was fun. And somebody over here was the exact opposite. So I would maybe do the tutor part.
That's fine. So, that wraps up our couple ideas. If you guys have other ideas for us, I'd love to hear them. You can leave a comment, send us an email, farmhoplife@gmail.com. And next episode, we're going to drop a surprise. You could probably figure it out.
I don't know.
But we're not going to tell you.
It's been kind of vague.
A little bit, but
So,
if you've seen a couple other videos, I've already said it. So,
whoops.
see you next time.
Bye.